Wanted to give you a review of the bikepacking route Roll Call. It's on rockgeist.com. It's a 42-mile loop. It's got 3,800 feet of climb. It's a really fun loop. Starts and ends out of the Hub, which is a bicycle shop, which is in Brevard, North Carolina. It's a great starting spot. You can talk to the people inside. They'll let you park your car there overnight. They have food trucks each day. They have beer. So good place to stop for the start of the ride and the end of the ride to get some food, get some beer, tell some stories about your ride. This route's doable on pretty much any bike. It's definitely more fun with released front suspension. Gets pretty rocky at times, pretty bumpy, especially on day 2 towards the end. Let's see, it's called Bracken Preserve. That little end of the route gets really rough. Probably requires a little bit of hike-a-bike, especially if you're in a at least front suspension, maybe a full suspension bike. But to be safe, there's probably some hike-a-bike in that downhill section. But other than that, the route's 100% rideable. And if you're familiar with the area, there's ways to, no matter what bike, kind of pick a trail, pick a path, to meet that bike's needs. But how the route's specifically laid out, front suspension bike is the most ideal. I'd recommend at least 2-inch tires for this ride. It's in Pisgah National Forest, so it's going to get a little muddy at times. They get a lot of rain over there. There's few areas that are a little bit sandy, so at least 2-inch tire, especially with the bumps, the rocks. That should be plenty. You can do it with less. I'm always someone who errs on the side of wire tires, so I'm saying 2-inch. Do what you feel necessary, but that'll be most comfortable for you. I really enjoyed the ride. It's a short ride, so take your time. You're gonna start at the Hub, get some good food, get some beers to take with you, and hit the road. You're only going to be on the road for a couple miles, and then you're going to be off-road. You're going to be up into Pisgah National Forest and having a good time. Not a lot of water on the route that you don't need to filter. You're by water the whole time, so there's going to be streams, plenty of water to filter. But if you're not someone who wants to filter water, since it's a short route, you don't need to filter water. You can just bring whatever you need and no issues there. But if you're someone who wants to carry less weight, bring a filter, you'll be good to go. Pisgah National Forest is great. They have lots of trails, lots of gravel. Brevard, North Carolina is the home of bikepacking.com. So you'll notice there's a lot of bikepacking routes around that area. So a lot of good stuff. Pisgah National Forest is always great. I went late summer, so leaves hadn't fallen yet. So the only downside to this route is that it doesn't really mix up views. You get in the forest, and you're getting forest views for pretty much the whole 42 miles, except for when you're coming out of and into Brevard. So that's the only downside. Gets into a little later fall. Those leaves will be down, and you can see kind of some more of the mountains you're in. But with those leaves on the tree, you're in the mountains. You can feel that with the climbs, but you don't really get a view that. In the fall, you'll also be able to get to see Looking Glass Mountain, which is pretty cool. Adds another cool view, something nice to mix up the visuals. So that's the only downside I had to the route. But yeah, like I said, fun route. Love that it starts and ends out of the Hub, and doable on any bike. So if you're trying to get out there, whatever you got, just get out there and go. You'll definitely have more fun if you have some suspension, but you'll have a good time. So enjoy. Let me know how it goes.